Amazing Animal Facts: The Leafy Sea Dragon. An expository overview. The Leafy Sea Dragon, Phycodurus eques, is one of the most striking and mysterious creatures of the ocean. With its extraordinary, leaf-like appendages and vibrant coloration, the Leafy Sea Dragon is a master of camouflage and an incredible example of evolution's ingenuity. Native to the coastal waters of southern and western Australia, this unique marine animal is a close relative of the seahorse, yet its appearance and behavior are distinct. This expository write-up will explore the physical characteristics, habitat, behavior, diet, reproduction, and conservation status of the Leafy Sea Dragon, shedding light on why this captivating creature has become one of the most cherished marine animals in the world. Physical characteristics. The Leafy Sea Dragon is instantly recognizable due to its extraordinary appearance. It has long, slender, elongated body that is covered with delicate, leaf-like appendages, which give the creature its leafy appearance. These leaf-like structures, found along its body and tail, help the Leafy Sea Dragon blend seamlessly into its environment of kelp forests and seagrass meadows. These appendages resemble the leaves of aquatic plants, making the Leafy Sea Dragon virtually invisible to predators and prey alike. Typically, the Leafy Sea Dragon measures between 30 and 40 centimeters in length, with males tending to be slightly larger than females. Its body is covered in soft, bony plates, providing it with protection against predators, while its delicate, floating fins are nearly transparent, making them hard to spot in the wild. The creature's long, tubular snout and small, almost unnoticeable mouth are characteristic of its seahorse family. The Leafy Sea Dragon does not have any visible scales like most fish. Instead, its body has a smooth texture, contributing to its graceful, floating movement. The color of the Leafy Sea Dragon varies from pale green to yellowish brown, with hints of pink and orange, helping it blend in with its surroundings. Its vibrant coloration and leaf-like appendages are not only aesthetically captivating, but are a testament to the process of natural selection, providing the sea dragon with effective camouflage. Habitat and distribution. The Leafy Sea Dragon is found along the southern and western coastlines of Australia, particularly in temperate marine environments such as the Great Australian Bight and the waters surrounding the islands of South Australia. They inhabit shallow coastal waters, typically found at depths of between 1 and 50 meters, and are most commonly associated with kelp forests, seagrass beds, and coastal reefs. These environments provide the Leafy Sea Dragon with the perfect conditions to thrive, as the long, flowing seagrass and kelp offer both protection from predators and a steady supply of food. The water temperature in their habitat ranges from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, and they are particularly adept at adapting to the dynamic, shifting currents of these coastal areas. The Leafy Sea Dragon prefers to stay near the seafloor, where it can use its camouflage to hide amongst the kelp and seagrass. However, their distribution is limited to the coasts of Australia, and they are not found in other parts of the world, which makes them a highly localized and unique species. Their reliance on specific underwater plant life for camouflage makes them vulnerable to changes in their environment, including the destruction of kelp forests due to climate change, pollution, and human activities. Behavior and adaptations. The Leafy Sea Dragon is a slow-moving creature, often drifting with the current rather than actively swimming. It relies on its camouflage for survival, blending perfectly with the aquatic plants and seagrass that populate its habitat. It can move in any direction by using its small dorsal fin, located along its back, while its pectoral fins, located near the gills, allow for delicate adjustments to its movements. Unlike many other marine animals, the Leafy Sea Dragon is not a strong swimmer. Instead, it relies on its ability to remain motionless for extended periods, using the motion of the water to drift along and stay hidden from predators. This behavior, along with its near-perfect camouflage, makes it difficult for both predators and prey to spot the Leafy Sea Dragon. Leafy sea dragons are solitary creatures, spending most of their time alone or in pairs. They are not territorial, but tend to remain in the same general areas, often within a specific range of seagrass or kelp forests. They communicate with each other through subtle body movements and changes in coloration, although their interactions are relatively quiet compared to other marine species. They are primarily nocturnal, feeding during the night and resting during the day to avoid predators. Diet and feeding habits. The leafy sea dragon feeds primarily on small marine organisms such as plankton, crustaceans, and small fish. Using its long, tubular snout, it can suck in small prey like a vacuum, feeding on microscopic organisms that it finds within the seagrass and kelp. Unlike some other fish species, the leafy sea dragon does not have the ability to chew its food. Instead, it uses its snout to inhale its prey whole and relies on its digestive system to break down food. Because the leafy sea dragon is so well camouflaged and often remains motionless, it can remain near its food sources for long periods without attracting attention. Its feeding habits are relatively passive, and it spends much of its time floating in the water, waiting for prey to drift close enough for it to capture. The leafy sea dragon is also highly sensitive to changes in its environment. It can detect subtle movements in the water, helping it locate potential food sources and avoid danger. Despite its ability to camouflage itself and remain hidden, it is still vulnerable to larger predators such as fish and seabirds. Reproduction and life cycle. The reproductive behavior of the leafy sea dragon is quite fascinating and unique in the animal kingdom. Like other seahorse relatives, the leafy sea dragon exhibits a remarkable form of reproduction where it is the male that carries the eggs. After mating, the female deposits her eggs into a special brood pouch located on the male's abdomen. The male then fertilizes the eggs, and he carries them in the pouch until they are ready to hatch. The male leafy sea dragon carefully tends to the eggs in the pouch, protecting them from potential threats until they are fully developed. Once the young sea dragons are ready to hatch, they emerge from the male's pouch as miniature versions of the adult, fully formed and capable of swimming. The juvenile sea dragons are independent from birth and are able to swim away from the male and start foraging for food. The reproductive cycle of the leafy sea dragon is complex and highly dependent on environmental conditions, such as water temperature and food availability. The young sea dragons go through several stages of development before becoming fully mature adults. It is believed that their lifespan ranges from 3 to 5 years, with reproduction typically occurring during the spring and summer months. Conservation status and challenges. The leafy sea dragon is currently listed as a near-threatened species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. While they are not yet critically endangered, they face several threats to their population, primarily due to habitat destruction and environmental changes. The loss of kelp forests and seagrass beds, which provide essential food and shelter for the leafy sea dragon, poses a significant threat to their survival. Overfishing and the collection of leafy sea dragons for the aquarium trade also contribute to their declining numbers. Though the leafy sea dragon is protected by Australian law and is prohibited from being collected or traded, illegal harvesting still occurs. Climate change, pollution, and increased coastal development further exacerbate the challenges faced by this delicate species. Efforts are underway to protect the leafy sea dragon's habitat through conservation programs aimed at preserving kelp forests and seagrass beds. Additionally, marine protected areas have been established to limit human activities that may harm the species, and research is ongoing to better understand the ecological needs of this fascinating creature. Conclusion. A marvel of the ocean. The leafy sea dragon is a true marvel of the ocean, with its incredible camouflage, graceful movement, and unique reproductive behaviors. As a symbol of the delicate balance of marine ecosystems, the leafy sea dragon reminds us of the importance of preserving our oceans and protecting the species that call them home. We encourage you to subscribe to Wild Wonders to stay updated on the latest discoveries and conservation efforts in the marine world. Have you ever seen a leafy sea dragon or encountered it in your area? Let us know what it's called in your language in the comments below.